Hi, my name is Deb Hart, and welcome to my simple leaf cane class. There are a huge variety of different leaf cane classes online. This cane is a very simple version, but one that I use often as embellishment in my other classes. The class is Advanced Beginner and requires knowledge of clay handling and conditioning, and also simple cane reduction. Here are a few examples of projects that I have created that include this simple leaf cane. I have many classes and projects that include simple canes so that you can expand your cane building skills while creating beautiful pieces of art, jewelry, and home decor. For this class, you will need various tools and clay colors. You will need a pasta machine, an acrylic roller, a ruler, and a clay blade. You will also need 1 ounce of black clay, 2 ounces of white and yellow clay, and less than 1 ounce of green clay. I highly recommend Kato Poly Clay. My pasta machine is a 20-year-old Atlas. All pasta machines differ in the number of settings and the size of each setting. My pasta machine has 7 settings. I've made the following chart as reference so you can compare my approximate settings to the settings on your machine. Use these numbers to determine which settings on your machine correspond to the thickness I'm using in this class. This cane is listed as a supply item in various cane and project classes. The class will include a chart with a color guide like the one on the right. To use this cane class with other classes, replace the colors in this chart with the corresponding colors in the chart that is included with that class. Condition and roll out sheets of yellow, black, and green clay on the thickest setting of your pasta machine. Cut out 15 1-inch yellow circles or squares, 2 black and 1 green. Mix the yellow, black, and green to get a dark sage clay and roll out a thick sheet. Cut out a 4-inch right triangle. Condition white clay and roll out a sheet on the thickest setting of your pasta machine. Cut out a 4-inch right triangle. Place the sage green and white triangles together to form a 4-inch square. If you wish to have some solid green and or white, add a 1/4 by 4-inch strip of white or green along the long edge. Fold the square in half and run it through your pasta machine. Fold in half and run through your pasta machine again. Be sure to always fold in the same direction. Repeat folding and running through your machine until you have an even blend. Placing the clay against an edge of your pasta machine and stretching or compressing your clay when it creates bulges will help keep your clay relatively square. Fold the finished blend in half and run through your pasta machine on the thickest setting starting from one smaller end. Repeat on narrower settings until you have a long, thin blend. Roll the blend into a circular Skinner bullseye cane. For this cane, we'll roll up starting with the white end, but you can also start with the darker end depending on your preference. The final Skinner bullseye will be rough on the outside, but don't worry about trimming the ends unless they're extremely uneven. Flatten the cane till it's about 1 inch high. Simply push it against your work surface with the flat of your palm, turn it over, and push the other side. The edges will cause the outside of the cane to look unblended, but this is just the outside edge. Cut the bullseye cane in half down the center. Position your blade in the center of the cane and saw down a little on one side and then a little on the other. Cut the blend into 6 sections, making 2 additional cuts on either side of the center using the same sawing motion. Condition and roll out another sheet of white clay on the thickest setting of your pasta machine. Cut out a 2 by 2 inch square. Condition and roll out a medium thin sheet of black clay. I use the number 5 setting on my pasta machine. Cover both sides of the white sheet with black clay. Run the black and white stack through your pasta machine on the thickest setting. This will be the veins of the leaf. If you prefer thinner veins, run it through your pasta machine on thinner settings until the veins are the thickness you want. Cut off sections of the vein sheet that are 1 inch wide and a 1/4 inch shorter than the individual sections of the sliced Skinner bullseye. Taper both ends of the black and white vein sections. Place sections of the vein sheet between the bullseye sections, starting and ending an 1/8 inch from the edges. Place all the slices and sections back together to reform your cane. Cut the cane diagonally through the veins. You'll want to start and end a 1/4 inch from the last vein on both ends. Flip 1/2 so that the narrow ends and the wide ends line up. Cut another section of vein that is 1 inch wide and an 1/8 inch shorter than the diagonal center cut. Taper one end. Place the sheet of vein down the center with the tapered end an 1/8 inch from the narrow end of the leaf. Trim the bottom of the center vein flush with the leaf's wider bottom edge. Shape the cane into a teardrop shape and wrap with a medium thin sheet of black clay. I use the number 5 setting on my pasta machine. Your simple leaf cane is now complete. Reduce it to the size needed for your project and enjoy. This concludes your simple leaf cane class. Thanks so much for joining me. And here's a few web addresses to handy resources for this class and for many others. I hope you've enjoyed today's class. Please join me for other classes, tutorials, or live workshops.